Hello and welcome to the Death Battle Cast. I'm Ben. I'm the voice of Wiz.
I'm Josh. I write and edit Death Battle.
I'm Jordan. I direct Death Battle animation sometimes.
And I'm Sean. I'm the co-head of animation.
Yeah, we've got the
co-head.
crossover here.
Whoa.
I really like the co-head.
The co-head.
Makes you
It's
sound
nice
like
having a partner.
Do you imagine yourselves as like two heads on one body, or two bodies with one head?
Sometimes, but then I ask myself, which body? Because Joe's pretty tall. And, like, I wouldn't mind being a little bit taller.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I wish
shut
I
up.
was a baller. All right, anyways.
So you're saying you guys would do the fusion,
We would do the fusion,
but it
I
would be like 90% Joe.
Yes, because then I
All
could
right.
play professional basketball. And I would have a glorious beard, which I don't really have a beard right now. Kinda.
You look a lot younger than you usually do. What happened?
It was just that's what the CDC said, is like, if you don't want to get, corona, shave your beard. So I'm
being
just, I'm
that's
looking
kind of the
over
opposite
at,
approach.
y'all right
thinking
now.
about it. I'm thinking about
I still just got the scruff. I can still go back, but my plan was to do a quarantine beard just to see how big. But I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that,
that's
that might
probably
not
not
be
the
healthy
best
for
idea.
you.
I saw an old Death Battle cast where you didn't have your hair gelled up and you had the goatee, and I didn't know it was you for about 10 minutes
That
of
sounds
the video.
about right.
I like that.
There was also a bit from way back in the Screw Attack days where, like, I came back from my honeymoon and I didn't have my goatee anymore, and the bit was that nobody in the office recognized me, and so I had to like make one on paper and hold it up to my face to like prove to them that I
Yeah.
was in fact the real Sean.
That's awesome.
Your beard was a sentient character.
It
for
was
a
at
while,
one
and
point.
then
Yeah, it was a
hopefully-
sentient character.
Anyway, hey guys, I see you all in the chat. If you're watching this live this week, all of Rooster Teeth TV, our live streams are free to watch for everybody, which is awesome, including this one. So if you know anybody who would like to watch this live and isn't watching it right now, please let them know, because we're going to be going for an hour or so, 45 minutes or so, and we've got a couple things to cover today. We have a Q&A for Jenos War Machine, and we'll probably just talk a little bit more about it since Jordan is here. And we have a sneak peek for the upcoming Death Battle Grey vs. Esdeath, which airs this weekend?
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, pretty darn soon. And then we got a community death battle to discuss, as well as I want you guys to help pick the next community death battle. Don't post ideas just yet in the chat. We're gonna get to it later on in the show. But speaking of the virus and horrible beard virus or whatever,
Yeah.
we should probably cover what's going on with that concerning us and the Death Battle cast. So as you can tell, as I've noticed a few people asking, where is Chad? Chad isn't here. He is unfortunately quarantined. He's not able to come into this building, so he's not here today. However, he will be on upcoming episodes of the cast, because we're still going to be doing Death Battle cast in the next few weeks. But this is going to be, as far as I'm aware, the last one we do in this studio for a while.
Yeah, like an indeterminate amount of time at this point. We'll be going to audio only for the next few weeks,
Yeah.
and
Recording from home.
recording from home.
Gonna be weird.
We just thought it would be good to do one last video version to kind of talk to the audience and let y'all know that, like, we're taking it pretty seriously. For those of you that don't live in the city of Austin, the mayor had a press conference yesterday and was basically like, hey, we'd like to limit gatherings of 10 people or more, just keep it at 10 or less. And so we're doing that not only in our building, but all the different buildings that we have on the RT campus.
Yes.
And so therefore, that's why Chad has to stay in his building and we have to stay in our building.
So we're keeping everybody safe, making sure that we all get through this without too much of a hassle. Hopefully, we definitely encourage you all to stay safe. Remain home. Just keep in mind what the CDC is saying. If you're looking at news articles, make sure to look at multiple. Don't live in a bubble. And we'll all get through this.
Yeah,
It'll be okay.
Just take it seriously. Like, it's a real thing. And although we're fortunate in that most of us are young and healthy, not everybody is. And so even if it doesn't affect you, you could affect somebody else. Just through exposure.
This is a terrible time also for somebody with like severe allergies.
Yes,
like me.
every-
So,
Do I
pollen-
have it? Am I sick?
The pollen count in Austin has been really bad for a couple weeks. So last week I actually got some serious symptoms, and I was thinking like, oh no, is it happening to me? And it took me like 5 minutes to realize, wait a minute, this is just because Mountain
these
Cedar
eye
is super bad
drops
right
in
now.
and,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible.
But that's why I wasn't here last week, because I was just in case, because I actually used to have really bad immune system when I was growing up, and allergies obviously do not help that. Fortunately, I've gone through plenty of medication, excellent doctors to improve that, so it's not nearly an issue these days, but I do kind of know what it's like to have that sort of issue where you're scared to go anywhere, because especially if you've already got allergies and your immune system's like destroyed because of that already, it's like I can't interact with people because just one little thing could set it off and put me in a hospital, which is crazy. But there are plenty of people like that, and it's not just elderly. It's it's all range of ages, including like little kids also are just as much risk.
That was honestly part of the reason why I shaved, is like not just out of respect for like my wife and son, but my brother and sister-in-law are both doctors, and knowing that the next few weeks are going to be really rough on them, we decided to go pick my niece up, and she's under 3, so it was like just to be
Gotta be
extra,
safe.
you know.
Yeah. But we're not here to talk about the virus.
Yeah,
for
anyways.
the entire show. We just want you to know
Tell
that
me
we're all doing
about
as good as we
Jenos
can.
War Machine, Ben.
Jenos War Machine. Oh, okay. So it looks like we're doing questions answered first, according to the thing. According to that.
Duck battle.
I will be looking at the chat throughout, so if you want to pipe in, ask something, I'll check on that. Otherwise, we will get to the Gray versus Esdeath sneak peek when we reach.
There you go.
This-
yeah,
this
th-
part,
that
this
that
thing.
just-
If you're watching,
Where do I point?
If you're listening to the audio podcast version of this, sorry. So, first question we've got is, and this is a question that kind of applies to a lot of death battles. Why would you not wait for One Punch Man to end before bringing in Jenos? I mean,
And we'd never have any death battle.
we would never have any death battles. Unfortunately, and this is something I actually struggled with a lot when Death Battle first started, is waiting for series to end, or expecting a character to get to a certain point where it's like, now it's their maximum potential, we can bring them in, and it just doesn't happen. Like, it's just not worth waiting most of the time. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you can tell that a series is building up to a moment where the character is going to get their full potential revealed. I think, little bias obviously, but Ruby is a really good example of that. Ruby Rose clearly is building up to something with the silver eyes and whatnot. It's like we shouldn't bring her into Death Battle until that is fully explored, right? Like, that is an example where it's very clear that we should wait. But generally speaking, it's like Marvel's not ending anytime soon.
no.
One Punch Man is going to go as long as it can. If we were to wait, there's a good chance that these characters would just never be in a death battle, or when it does come time for them to be in a death battle, it feels too late.
And there's this curse that we've kind of joked about really for years at this point with every other piece of content, but like sometimes by having a death battle, we inadvertently then create the next thing that we would have theoretically waited for,
Or it seems like we
or
do.
it seems like we do.
Yeah.
And it's just that, like, once for a lot of characters, I feel like once a storyteller has kind of closed their arc and then it gets passed to that next storyteller, like, you just got to kind of roll with it, because the next storyteller is just going to try and like one up the previous storyteller in one way or another, and it's the nature of like continuing the legacy that is like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Batman or like just a wealth of characters that we love to have in Death Battle because they're so fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, y'all have done characters more than once before anyway.
Right.
So
We
like,
could
if
always
something
do it
new-
again.
Yeah, they can come back.
And Beastman in the chat is pointing out, like, for example, we had Ichigo come into Death Battle a couple years back because Bleach ended. Bleach is apparently coming back. It's like,
Boom.
well, even when a series seems to end, it still could come back. I mean, Dragon Ball is an excellent example of that. We tried to do Goku vs. Superman, and literally like a couple weeks after we started playing, I was like, Dragon Ball Battle of the Gods is going to introduce a new Saiyan form. Throw everything out the window. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about social media and things like that. Obviously, you can interact with a lot of people with social media, but what are you going to do with the people who are right next to you right now and the people that you're, kind of maybe stuck with for a little while? Well, there's always Miller Lite. You can crack open a great, set of bottles, share them around with your friends, and just have a good time chatting and drinking some Miller Lite. Maybe you want to chat up some death battle matchups. I know, it's great for me to hang out with people and just talk about some random, meaningless matchups. Who would fight? Who would win a fight over some Miller Lite? And Miller Lite is where you can take off the mask and just be yourself around those you know best. And the best stories are the ones you share over a couple of cold ones. So when there's a great tasting 96-calorie Miller Lite, friends should always come before followers. Here's to the original light beer. Here's to the original social media. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Thank you, Miller Lite. No. But anyway, second question. Why would you pit a comic book character against a non-comic character? Isn't the winner obvious? The comic character always wins. Also, spoilers. If you haven't seen Jenos versus War Machine, that's a little late. Sorry. We are talking about the winner.
You can still go watch it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, just for the animation that these guys put together,
seriously.
it's a phenomenal job. With some phenomenal music from Aaron. So comic book characters don't always win. Lucy versus Carnage, spoilers, is a very good example of that. And I love that episode so much. And that is the episode that I think really convinced me to try to find more comic anime or comic other sort of matchups. Because I think that to a certain extent, they're more fascinating to me than Marvel versus DC matchups. Marvel DC matchups are obviously like the bread and butter. Like that's kind of Death Battle's lifeblood, is those kinds of matchups. That's what the most people really enjoy. It's kind of what inspired, these sorts of versus debates. But finding those like weird matchups is the best thing for me. I don't know about you guys, but I love those. Whenever we can find a good one. Sometimes, we take a risk and we're like, maybe these characters will be a really good matchup, and then the comic book character is clearly overpowered compared to the other one. But it's not all the time.
Well, and I think people are underestimating not just anime, but manga, and the kind of crazy levels that characters can go to in manga. It is very much like what comics are to that Eastern audience. Like manga is where all the wild shit happens, just like comics are where all the wild shit happens in a Western audience. And for the characters that have mangas, like we definitely do our best to keep that like in the composite of what that character's potential is.
Because we focus on that.
Again, Lucy is an example of that, where in the manga specifically, when the horns or whatever they're called, like they go to outer space.
Oh, the vectors.
The vectors. Yeah, and it's just like,
okay. The anime never quite got that far. We prioritize the main source material over all else. So that would be the manga in that case. But I think it's also worth pointing out that it's very easy. The way we look at comic book characters, or at least the way I do, it would be very easy to look at somebody like War Machine and be like, well, War Machine is similar to Iron Man, and Iron Man can fight Galactus, and Galactus can blow up planets. So that means War Machine should be able to eat planets. And there's definitely plenty of, maybe groups or people who do versus matchups that would want to go that far with scaling and whatnot. And that's not something I like to do. I prefer to look at the characters as they make sense. Like we've talked about how outliers exist, and while we can't ignore outliers, we can make reasons for them. Like, sure, maybe Iron Man has fought Galactus, but was Galactus really trying his best that day?
He had a cold. He was under the weather.
Is there a reason why Iron Man could? I don't actually remember if Iron Man ever fought Galactus. I'm just thinking like, was there a reason why Iron Man's like blast destroyed Galactus's horn or whatever the heck happened? So trying to make some sort of reason within the how the character is presented overall is important to me. And frankly, I think the main reason why I was convinced that War Machine wins is not necessarily because of any of the like numbers or stats. It's because of what happens at the very end, which goes to the next question. Why did War Machine tank so many spiral incineration shots but was damaged by the self-destruct? And I think a lot of people understood what was happening. But just to clarify what's going on at the end of the animation, anytime War Machine has the blue light, he's in his chameleon mode. Those blasts were not touching him at all.
Right.
He was literally phasing through them all, which is broken as fuck. But
It's pretty cool tech, man.
it's he can go invisible. He can become intangible. He's unscannable. Unscannable? Is that a word?
Yeah.
You can't detect him in any way. It's crazy how ridiculous Iron Man tech gets, but it's a thing.
I wonder if the MCU is going to utilize that in any way. Like, you know, because now they got... No, War Machine doesn't have a spinoff.
No.
So, no. Okay.
Not yet,
Maybe.
but
yet.
hopefully
Next time, baby.
soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that they could use.
They specifically bring back Terrence Howard for it.
That would be amazing.
That'd be really
actually,
fun.
yeah.
I mean, they are doing the What If series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if? Oh,
What if
what if
Terrence
Terrence Howard was War Machine?
That'd be
Oh,
great.
I want that.
That'd
Now I
be
want
great.
it so bad.
Oh no.
I think that there's a chance to explore a little more of what's like post Thanos War Machine, what he has going on if they do an Iron Maiden thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really hoping that they do some version of Iron Maiden. I've heard that like rumors about Pepper, but it's like she's not coming back.
No.
Not a full movie with Gwyneth Paltrow starring as Iron
No.
Maiden. That's not going to happen. But maybe if they did, you know, Tony's successor, whether it's his daughter or I can't remember it, but in Superior Iron Man, the new Iron Maiden, what her name is.
Oh,
Um,
starts with an R.
yeah,
Uh,
but just something, just like the Iron Man stuff is super fun.
mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
more content in that world, it would be great.
Mm-hmm.
And the armor that Pepper's wearing in Endgame is supposed to be the rescue armor, which is
Mhm.
what Iron Maiden wears.
Mhm.
So technically, they've had it.
It exists for sure. Like, but you know, like somebody has to come after Tony, right? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Right. Thought you were
Spider-Man.
talking about a band.
Until
I mean,
Sony
I
comes
guess
back.
yeah, that's true.
He's got 2 movies, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he's got to die or something, or get sucked into an alternate universe where Venom exists.
Yeah, you got to do Spider-Verse, and then he's in the cartoon, and then the cartoon comes, and then Miles becomes a real person.
Mhm.
Feige did say recently that he wants Spider-Woman in the MCU, which would be really interesting.
That would be cool.
to strike up another deal.
But would it be Spider-Gwen? Would it be Spider-Woman? Would it be Silk? Would it like?
I don't know.
Gwen
There's-
seems to be the one in the zeitgeist right now. that
Yeah,
everyone's, like,
she's
aware
definitely
of.
the most popular.
There's way too many spider people.
There's so many spider people.
How many radioactive spiders are there?
Apparently way too much, and I don't understand why people keep making these radioactive spiders.
doing it.
Yeah.
You've shown how War Machine can move faster than Jenos, but it doesn't make much sense. He's human, so how can he make sense of himself and his surroundings while moving over Mach 600? Which is a good question, because it doesn't make a lot of sense that, like, yeah, sure, the War Machine suit can fly Mach 600. All right. Why isn't Rhodey, like, paste inside the suit at
Yeah.
that point? How can he react? Comic books are weird is the main thing, but there technically the canon explanation is that the suit is able to, like, adjust his reaction time itself and use nanotech and sensors and things like that to improve his brain response, stuff like that.
He eats Wheaties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, yeah, you know, he uses G Fuel before he gets in the suit.
Basically, the suit is magic.
I don't know.
Yeah,
These comic books use broken physics, so can we.
Yeah.
Exactly. Question 6, and I like this one a lot. Why did Tony give his friend a better suit than his own?
That's
good
a very,
question.
maybe it was the U.S. government that made it better. I don't know. Like in
Yeah.
the MCU, they made it trash.
Hammer tech.
But maybe
Yeah.
in the comic book.
No, it's Tony who's making all this, like, awesome
well then
tech.
that's dumb. I agree with that person.
I mean, maybe he's just a selfless dude in this. He's had so many moments where Tony's been an asshole that he's like, this is how I'm going to make up for it. I'm going to make sure that Rhodey's got the best thing ever.
Or it could be like an ego thing of like, I don't need all that tech. I'm better. I don't need it. You know?
That honestly,
trying to
that
protect his
seems the
friend.
yeah. I was gonna say that seems like the most plausible response.
Yeah.
As Tony's like, well, I'm good. I don't need it.
I'm the
Rhodey
OG.
needs the extra attack.
Yeah, yeah.
He needs
I'll
all
be
the
fine.
extra guns.
Yeah.
And intangibility. I mean, Iron Man also does at one point have like that. We used it in the death battle. His
The symbiote
symbiote
suit.
nanite suit.
Yeah, that suit's
which is
dope.
awesome. Unfortunately, it was while he was evil, but you know, comics. But it's a really cool suit, and I really love how that fight ends. If you haven't seen Iron Man vs. Lex Luthor, you should go check it out.
There's that moment where
It's
it
one of my
goes
favorites.
super anime. It's
Oh
so
yeah,
good.
oh yeah. That's one of my favorite fights we've ever done. I think the episode itself is a bit long. Like that one runs, I think, like 28 minutes.
It's okay.
It's a little long. Rundowns get a little lengthy. There are a few older death battles that I look back on, and I watch through the rundowns. I'm like, halfway through the second character, I'm like, let's just get to the fight. Why are we taking so long?
But at the same time, right? There's like really early ones that are like less than 10 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was when Ben did everything.
Yes.
And he was trying not to lose his mind.
Well, and also the YouTube system was
Oh, that's
different
right.
back then as well.
Yeah.
Like I was specifically told to make it as fast as possible and as short as possible. It was YouTube was interesting back then because it kept switching between like different algorithms and what was important. Like music videos, I think back then were like the big thing. So it was
Yeah.
like the shorter the better. And then later they introduced the whole like if you get to 10 minutes, then you get more ads or whatever.
Right, and then every video was 10 minutes.
Every video was at least 10
Right
minutes.
there.
But I think pretty much every death battle's been over 10 minutes. I don't know if we've ever actually had one under 10 minutes before.
I have a vague memory of one that's like 7, but I could be making
Maybe
that
we
up,
do.
but-
Maybe Yoshi versus Riptor was 7 because I know that one was pretty short. But either way, speaking of how many episodes we have, we are almost. This is the last question. We are almost at episode 125.
Yeah.
Holy
Nice.
crap!
Yeah.
What a milestone.
Without spoiling anything, will it be a big milestone episode like Goku versus Superman and Mario versus Sonic?
How many episodes from 125?
Gray versus Esdeath is 124. The one that Josh is working on is
Oh,
125.
y'all are in for a treat.
It's.
Yeah.
I think it's a milestone.
Yeah, it's a
episode.
milestone.
Yeah.
It's definitely a little different from things like Goku versus Superman and Mario versus Sonic. But it is our first 3D fight of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very
And
fun
it's,
one.
It's gonna be a good one.
It's got lots of hugs. Lots of hugging.
It's
in it.
good. Okay, that's as far as we can go. Before we get to that, let me tell you about one of our sponsors, Fiverr. Have you ever had a piece of art, a piece of music, a piece of anything that you've wanted to have made, but you're just not really sure how to, and you're like thinking about finding a freelancer to put it together for you, somebody with some like amazing talent, but you're just not sure where to find them. Like, how much is it going to cost? Where do you even go to find people like that? Those people do exist, and yes, it can be hard to find the right person, but Fiverr can help out quite a bit. Fiverr's got this awesome online marketplace that I've checked out, and it's really easy to use. And you can just find the person that you need to make whatever piece of music or art. Maybe you're looking for like a portrait or something that you want to make for somebody's birthday, like a song or something like that. You can find the person to do that on Fiverr. It's easy to find the person, easy to find a good deadline for it, find the price, get reviews for that person, and more before you even contact them, before you even get this whole project 100% locked down. You have all this information. And it's great. And they've got 24/7 customer service and all sorts of quality talent that you can count on. So take 5 and check out Fiverr.com, and you will receive 10% off your first order by using the code CAST. It's so easy. Don't waste any more time and get the service you deserve by going to Fiverr.com, code CAST. Fiverr. It starts here.
Great.
But obviously, it will be announced at the end of Gray vs. Esdeath, which airs in just a couple days. That is March 22nd, right?
Yep.
22nd.
Yeah.
This Sunday. And then this Sunday, it'll be up for first members. And then on Monday, it goes up on the Death Battle YouTube channel. All right. That covers the Q&A. Is there anything else we want to talk about with Jenos War Machine?
How was the experience, Jordan?
I mean, it was pretty cool. There's very little that I could say that I haven't already said just about how the animators really enjoyed fighting. We wanted to keep this one a lot faster paced than the previous one we did.
Animating, not fighting, right?
Well, the
They were
animators
fighting
they
each
fought
other.
with each other.
They
you
were
know?
fighting
Yeah.
4 scenes. They wanted... No, the animation. We wanted to keep it fast-paced, keep it interesting, make sure there was a lot of flashes and punches thrown. Really tried new techniques, new technologies with Unreal Engine for the backgrounds, which I thought came out pretty good.
Dude, that scene where they're hopping between
That
so
was
good.
that was a huge file. It was really hard to do comp in that because the computer was just I had to separate it into 2 different files and then work on it like that, just to get the lighting, of the flare. Like we know when Jenos would fly into screen, I would have the rocks in the background like illuminate orange because he's got light coming off of him and all that stuff. So like we had a lot of time with the background thing, with the Unreal Engine background. We had a lot more time to play around with the lighting effects and the shadows, which are like there are certain scenes where I still get the goosebumps and I do that type laugh thing, which I've done. But I don't know. Looking forward to the next one, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is going to definitely happen because these guys are kicking so much ass. The main guess in chat right now, based on your little hint, is Care Bears.
Yeah.
So you guys figured it out.
Yeah, it's Care Bears.
It's the Care Bears Battle Royale.
You nailed it.
That's great.
3D battle.
If I could
Care Bears versus the Gummy Bears.
I actually only remember the Care Bear cousins, where it was like there was a lion and
very
like a
random.
horsey.
Specific.
I don't even remember the Care Bear names.
I mean,
Does anybody?
anybody?
One's
known
got
that.
like a rainbow on their tummy. One's got like a 4-leaf
I
clover.
thought they all had hearts on their chest. Is that not?
I don't know.
I don't know.
See,
They shoot rainbow
Am
lasers.
I?
That's all I know.
am I thinking of Knights of the Round, where the football team got transported to the medieval times? And
If I recall, I'm pretty sure we did Care Bears versus Gummy Bears as a community death battle a long time ago.
Oh, nice. Well done.
Yeah,
Good job,
I think that was
community.
pretty fun. I don't remember who won because that was like one of our maybe in the first 20.
all the
episodes
gummy
or
bears are
something.
drug addicts. They're all addicted to the juice.
Do y'all remember that period where like they were taking all of these old franchises and just doing like baby versions of them?
Oh yeah,
Like
sure.
Baby Muppets and all that stuff. Have y'all done like a battle royale
Oh my god.
between
Baby version.
the baby
That'd
versions?
be awesome.
Baby Muppets versus I don't know, Baby Looney Tunes.
Baby Looney Tunes,
Now would
yeah.
be appropriate with Baby Yoda, Baby Groot.
Baby Groot versus Baby Yoda.
You know,
pretty cool.
people have been wanting a death battle tournament for a very long time.
Maybe it's the baby
I
bracket.
think we just do a baby bracket. That would satisfy everybody,
Yes.
right?
I want to see it.
Baby bracket.
The baby bracket.
Oh no. Okay. Let's go ahead and get to our next segment. What's going on with a sneak peek?
Peak.
Every time you see that, you crank up.
I
great.
hear it.
Yeah, of course.
I can't believe we're still using that, but it's pretty
awesome.
great. I hope we never get rid of it. All right. So we have. Oh shoot! I meant to check with Sam to see if a certain. Well, here I'll see if I can hear from him. But we have a sneak peek for Gray vs. Esdeath, obviously, and I also wanted to just mention that we're almost at 4.5 million subscribers on the Death Battle YouTube channel.
Wow.
It got a pretty significant boost recently. So if you aren't subscribed to the Death Battle YouTube channel, go do that. Let's get to 4.5.
Yeah.
You know, pretty soon. It'll be awesome.
Hell, let's get to 5. Tell
Yeah.
all your friends.
Just get to 5
keep
in the
it
next
going.
week. I'm sure we can do that.
You can do it by the end of the year.
Let's
I believe
skip
in you.
4.5.
You're all quarantined. You got nothing else to
Yeah.
do.
All right. So let's go ahead and just jump into this sneak peek.
Such a paltry country is hardly worth conquering.
Hey! Take your troops and get out! Oh, just what I needed. Another crazy, blue-haired woman in my life.
Very cool.
Luis's team has been kicking ass with this one, especially since there's a lot of custom sprite work in this one.
Yeah, they're playing it.
Like both the characters need a lot of custom work. All of the crazy ice effects. I believe Al built the centaurs, the ice centaurs.
Dude,
awesome.
Al is just like the Swiss Army knife of
Yeah.
animation. Use him for he can do anything.
Yeah,
great.
apparently, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
If you were a centaur, would you be okay with someone riding like on your back? Would you be okay being a? Because I mean, you still got like human consciousness, I assume.
Yes,
mean,
you do. You-
It's kind of like
yeah.
an easier piggyback ride. Like
suppose.
your body is
Yeah.
built to give piggyback rides. So if I would treat it the same way.
I technically think that a centaur is just a motorcycle with abs. Like, if you really think about it, like, because I mean
Yeah.
that's where you sure.
Sure, yeah.
It's just a motorcycle with abs.
But it's you.
How do they get abs?
What if
though?
someone else says that about you? You're just a motorcycle with abs.
I mean,
they get
am
abs?
They
I?
can't do
Well, yeah.
crunches, right? Like, they
That's
can't.
true. That's a very
How do they
good
do
point.
it?
Wow, yeah, centaurs
work
are
out those
very
muscles.
physically fit in most cases, and yeah, they can't really do crunches.
I don't know. It's
They
magical.
should all have beer bellies.
They really should, yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm-
also, they shouldn't give anybody piggyback rides for the next like 6 to 8 weeks.
That's valid.
Or
yeah.
Social distance.
Or can they do crunches better than anyone because they already have all that like counterweight, so they can just literally go back and forth, and it's less crunches and more like, what is it called when you reach down for your toes? They can just do that over and over, and it counts as the same.
Those are really the people to ask about that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I mean just I'm like trying to picture a centaur touch its toes.
It's like Tadasana. It's a yoga thing. As long as he's a really flexible centaur, he'd be fine.
Sure.
How's the centaur spine work though? Like
I was thinking the same thing.
At what point does the horse spine end and the human spine begin?
assume they just
It would
have
all
two.
be one.
Because they got to have a pelvis.
That was the opposite of what I was gonna say.
They got to have a pelvis, so it's got to be spine to pelvis, and then another spine.
So would it be
It's
a
a horse
hinge?
pelvis.
Would you hinge? Like
The pelvis might just be. I mean, it's got to, right? Like they got to have flexibility in that
they
in that
touch
waist.
their hooves.
Yeah.
Then how would they wear pants? That's the, that's the
Yeah.
other question.
Do
How
they
you get
still
the
put their
on?
pants on one leg at a time like the rest of us humans? Or
Man.
They're always naked too. Like they're never.
then I
you
guess they
never-
don't wear
except those. Those had armor. How they get that armor on?
Esdeath put it on for them.
They,
She was like,
man,
Oh,
centaurs. They have to have a lot of people help them out.
yeah, how does that work, right? Do centaur, because like horses, I mean, there's wild horses, obviously, but like we're talking about society here. So these centaurs have been domesticated to some extent, and like therefore, do they have like a stable master?
Is that a pun?
I mean,
Well, hang on, hang on, Sean.
yeah, it's probably not. What centaurs would be offended if they had to call him their
I
stable
know we're going
master.
back to the root
stable,
of the question. Would
stable
you wanna
helper.
be a beast of labor.
Do centaurs have beds, or do they just sleep in
What a horse
hay?
is.
Horses
They
sleep in
like-
hay. Yeah, they
But like, would they get a mattress and lay down on the mattress?
are they like cows? Do they sleep standing up?
I don't know. I can't say too much. Onward was actually a pretty good movie, but there's a centaur in it, and he's driving a car.
Okay,
They
but
never
that-
actually show an image of him in the car, and I had a lot of questions.
Yeah.
They show him getting out of the car, and I'm like, I want to know what the pedals in there are looking like. How is this working?
Yeah, what's that seat? Do they even have a seat?
Exactly.
Is
Yes.
Is it like my dog where he sits with his butt on the ground and his hind legs are like up? You know,
Because like in the movies
What's
Utopia, they like changed all of the vehicles and the different buildings to meet.
the needs of the
Right,
individual
yeah.
animal. Yeah,
Not in
see,
this
that makes
movie.
sense.
Not in this movie, and I have questions. It's very related to this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very important for us to figure this out.
If
okay.
someone could draw us a diagram of the way a centaur would fit into a vehicle,
yes,
I would
yes.
be very curious.
You know, that's a good question to ask you guys. If you have any ideas on how a centaur can drive a car, let us know using hashtag DeathMetalCast on Twitter. I'm sure we'll all be very interested.
I want to see sketches and notebook pads,
yes.
like with the blue lines and everything, just crudely drawn.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay, we also do have a piece of fan art to check out.
Is it a centaur?
Is it the centaur driving a car?
It has nothing to do with centaurs,
Jordan and I,
but
same
it is
page.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
same page.
So that we can go ahead and bring up that art.
Oh yeah, this fan art
is
was
so
awesome.
cool.
Yep.
So he posted on Twitter and was like, I'm sorry I'm a little late getting this up, but really enjoyed Jason vs. Leo, and like dude, take as much time as you need to make something like this. Holy shit.
So cool.
It looks so good. And I love just how it's set up too. Like not just like the look of it, but the overall like composition or whatnot of the whole thing.
No,
it's
agreed.
really well put together.
Like
cool.
and not to, because obviously the characters themselves are incredible, but that Versus logo is awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, it's really well
looks
put
great.
together. And Jason's sword having that glow to it.
Yeah.
And the freaking helmet with the like light streak. It's so good.
Yeah.
Man.
Well done, Robert2403.
That's my desktop.
Now
wallpaper
animated.
now.
Is it? Yeah, now animated. Now animated.
Every frame has to look like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, it would take years. But I love it. It looks so good. If at any point you have art that you'd love to share with us, feel free to do it. You can tag us on Twitter or just use the hashtag DeathMetalCast. We'll see it. We love checking that stuff out. Anyway, that kind of wraps up what we've got to talk about for what's going on. But unless anybody else has anything they want to talk about.
Mark Cerny put the entire internet to sleep with the PS5 reveal.
Did they actually show the console?
They did. It was still kind of going on when we came in to do mic tests. So, but he was just talking about, like how the human ear is formed through evolution and what they're doing with ray tracing to, really, because the PS3 cell chip had so much sound stuff and 10 teraflops.
I wonder if that was leaked images of the PS5.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is, like, we know that is the dev kit. Like,
The horseshoe thing?
Yeah. So that's legit. Whether or not the final console looks like that. I mean, it's a V, right?
Right.
A 5. Like,
Is that?
It looks.
No,
I
that
mean,
can't be
I
the-
I wouldn't say I didn't like the design, but it reminded me of something from like the 90s. It
It-
looked older.
sure.
It wasn't as streamlined. as
It's
some of
like
the
when
newer-
the Xbox, the OG one, was originally an X shape when they revealed it, and it was just like, yeah, that's gonna look great on my shelf. Thanks, guys. I don't know.
That was their dev kits.
Yeah,
original
that was a dev kit when it,
And those things they're massive.
yeah.
Huge X's. It's crazy. They need to do that again though.
So I'm sure the chat knows if they revealed what the PS5 looked like, but they did reveal all the specs. It's got backwards compatibility with
Gaming
PS4.
News Guy says that it was just a spec discussion. They didn't actually reveal what it looks like.
Too bad. Yeah.
Boo.
This is two announcement things that they've done for it that they haven't actually revealed what it looks like. And I know it's like not that big of a deal per se, but like it's also something that's going to sit on a shelf.
It's the part that
Yeah.
I understand that all these specs are important, and we're all having this big debate about, it's got to be the same as the Xbox Series X and blah, blah, blah. But, like, I want to know what it looks like.
Me too.
That's what I care about.
too.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to make sure it'll look good next to my TV and
Yeah,
everything.
and it fits. Like, even with the Series X, it's kind of like, it's really wide, and I was looking at the way my shelf is currently configured, and I might have to, like, lift it up just a little bit more to
See?
fit it in
These are
there.
things you got to plan for.
Yeah, like this is where I don't know. The aesthetic stuff is kind of important.
It
like,
is.
and it's the stuff you get excited about more than how many teraflop. I don't know what a teraflop is.
At this point,
know?
yeah.
Though you came in right before
I was
filming,
like-
just going on about the teraflops.
Well, that's what.
How could
This
they?
sounds like a made-up thing.
It's 2 less teraflops than that.
Yeah, that's. I was trying to evoke like the internet right now. As they're like, yeah, the Xbox has 12 and the PlayStation has 10, and like obviously that means it's a piece of shit. And it's just like, no. They'll all play the same games for the most part, guys. Like,
I mean,
who gives a
all
shit?
consoles are go out of date like mere months after they're released anyway. So who cares?
Yeah,
Like so long as
exactly.
it can run everything that it needs to,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let us know what you think about the PS5 not reveal / spec reveal.
Could have been
I
an
guess.
email. They could have just sent us an email. Like,
Well, at least we
here's the
now know how
specs.
ears evolved.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
that's true.
I need to go check this out because I
This
don't
is
know.
sounding like they're just biding time. There is no PlayStation 5.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's like you're making up a report.
it's an idea, man. The PlayStation 5, it's an idea.
Oh no!
It's gonna be like a USB. It's like an HDMI stick, like a Fire TV. You just plug it in the back, and it's like, yeah, it's really just your TV. Like, That's all it is.
It would be interesting though.
That's where they're gonna go. Like eventually, it's just gonna be like, who even needs this piece of hardware? Like, just pay us the monthly subscription. You get to play our games.
Yeah, just a Roku stick.
Be
Yeah.
honest, I thought we
You
were
know?
already there until like those images started leaking. I was like, oh, all right. this
They
will be a
still,
good
you know, for people like me, we like to buy the disc, and
one.
then you got to have something bigger than a flash drive. Put my disc
I've
into.
only recently started like not buying discs as much as I used to, and I'm still conflicted about it. But at the same time, I'm like, Animal Crossing is already downloaded.
Yeah,
all I
that's
gotta
what I
do is
did.
start it up.
Yep.
I don't have to worry about going to a store to get it. I kind of like it. Let's go. Also, Animal Crossing comes out in just a few days, so that's
Yeah.
They should do it early. Do it right now. Please release it.
Please,
It's already downloaded on my Switch.
that
Just hit a
uncle at
button.
Nintendo needs
Flip a
to
switch.
do that.
okay. Let's go ahead and get into this week's community death battle.
There it is. It's over there.
I never know
The-
which way
the-
to
the
do it.
death
The
battle.
thing.
I
Oh,
was pointing at it. That's
What is happening?
that's what we were laughing
it's
at.
weird because it's like reversed
backwards.
on
I
the
don't know which way to
camera,
point.
so I'm like trying to figure out
Been
how
struggling
to
with
point at it.
all episodes.
Oh, there. Yes.
Very good.
The battle of the mallards.
Darkwing Duck versus Duck Dodgers. Well, this is interesting.
Fantastic.
Whose
Oh,
idea
yeah.
was this?
It's mine again.
Of course.
It's me.
All right, so real quick before we get into it, since this is our last live show for a while, we're because we might be pre-recording. I don't know. It's still kind of
Yeah,
up in the air what
likely
we're
we
doing.
will pre-record, and we will still post in the same schedule, and we might even put the pre-record up live, but it will be pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Um,
So we won't be able to directly interact with chat like this. Some of us will probably actually be in
the chat.
while it airs, but it's not
Yeah.
going to be like on camera interacting.
Yeah.
So that means that I'd like to set up the next community death battle with you guys. So let me know in the chat who you think should be the characters for the next community death battle. Please do not spam it over and over. If you spam, I'm just not going to take it. But I will be checking out the chat throughout this whole discussion. Pick out a couple, see which ones we should do. All right, so for every community death battle, we always leave it up to you guys to let us know who you think should win and why using hashtag DeathBattleCast on Twitter. And we can go ahead and bring up the first answer if one of you guys wants to read it off the screen.
let Jordan take it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
On the spot.
Duck Dodgers has survived the moon and a planet exploding in his face unharmed. He is comparable to Marvin, who can drag the 2 octillion-ton sun, and for good measure, he has weapons like disintegration ray and his own planet-busting weapon. Darkwing is simply ducked.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That was a good. That was a good closing line
Yeah,
too.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Marvin
Two
dragged the sun?
octillion
2 octillion ton
sun.
Is that with his
Your band name.
spaceship or by himself? That's what I'm curious about. If anybody knows in the chat, please let me know, because that will change my mind on
Yeah,
what's going on here.
I picked them because they were both ducks. Yeah, I'm not expert in them at all. I did not know this.
Valid.
All right, well, let's see if we have an answer for Darkwing Duck and if he can drag his son around.
All right, Darkwing Duck would win because his feats include the once defeated Megavolt, while DW himself was blind. He survived an endurance test, which also included a nuclear bomb, saved a planet of superheroes, and even restored peace in Negaduck's homeworld. Man, I forgot about Negaduck.
I know.
So not quite sun level.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say I like Darkwing way more, but also those feats did not sound nearly as impressive.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So
But in the context of a fight, I mean,
Brian, can you bring up the Dodgers one more time? So, all right. Survived a moon and planet exploding his face. All right, that's pretty.
He's definitely got the stamina.
But
and endurance.
is Darkwing smart enough?
That's-
Is Darkwing smarter.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I think, Iron Man, like the thing that we were talking about earlier with Iron Man defeating the planet dude. Obviously, power level wise, like one dude's a fucking planet.
Right.
But the other one is just super smart. And I know that Darkwing is kind of Darkwing is kind of goofy, but isn't
Kind of a detective.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
got, like, that-
smart.
I mean,
Right.
he's Batman.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and
basically.
if we know anything about Batman, he has certainly overcome some enemies that are much.
Yes, he's dodged Omega beams.
Right.
Yes, like
So mad about that.
Only in the cartoon.
now the thing about Duck Dodgers is he's a parody of Roy Rogers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Essentially,
that sounds right.
like I don't. Buck Rogers, yeah, Roy.
That is right.
Yeah. Roy
Okay.
Rogers is the cowboy.
It
Buck
sounded
Rogers.
right.
Got it.
Yeah,
Buck
it sounded
Rogers.
right.
Thank
That
you,
was right.
thank you, B.
Buck Rogers is the not Flash Gordon.
Right, exactly. Yes, the not Flash Gordon. But like, I only can think of a couple episodes of Duck Dodgers, and it was always more just like a weird cat and mouse thing with him and Marvin the Martian, right?
Right. I just keep seeing like the weapons he was using backfiring on him. So I thought
Right.
like he had
Yeah.
the technological and power advantage, but he was also self-sabotaging a lot.
Yeah.
So I thought that would balance things out a little bit. on
Kind
this
of a
one.
buffoon.
Some people in the chat are mentioning that Duck Dodgers was once a Green Lantern. Now, I believe it was only once in like a spin-off thing or whatever. It's not like a part of a standard arsenal, so we wouldn't include it.
Yeah.
For this. So we remove that from the equation. Just his general, what he has normally.
Is like, I don't know if the chat can let us know, but is Duck Dodgers in some sort of space force? Is like that, or is he self-sufficient? Did he build his own rocket ship and all
Excellent
those
question.
things?
Chad, if you know, let me know. I'm also bringing up a Wikipedia page to see if there is.
Yeah.
Because like Darkwing, arguably, like I know he works with a scientist, but he makes his own gadgets, right? Like all the gas-powered gadgets and the vehicles that he drives. Like he is clearly a highly intelligent and well-arsenaled bird.
He's smarter. I'll give you that. Yeah, he's definitely smarter than Dodgers.
Yeah.
And he says things like, let's get dangerous, which
So the wiki
makes him
says,
cooler.
though he is rather incompetent and an idiot, Duck Dodgers is still no washout. He's durable enough to survive lasers, climb electrical fences with no signs of injury, and survive planetary explosions like it's nothing.
Did they know that we were
He's
doing
skilled
this?
in laser. He's skilled in laser nunchucks to the point where he can create a statue of himself just by swinging them, and could hold his own against Queen Tirani?
Oh, the Mars lady. This must be.
Oh, yeah.
This must be like. This is Dodgers, right? You're reading off
Yes.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
This must be from like the newer Looney Tunes stuff. Or he did have a spin-off cartoon, right?
There
Yes.
was a spin-off cartoon.
That's what this
I
is
just
from, I
never
think.
watched it.
Yeah.
I only remember the
Same.
one-off
Same.
episodes that were
Okay,
just part
which
of
is
the
he
where
can
Looney
he
Tunes
can
stuff.
sneak into places without being detected, so he does have some stealth ability. And he's defeated Commander X2. I don't know who that is. So, even though he's an idiot, he's not incompetent in a fight
Right.
or in stealth. So, and that would be where Darkwing Duck would excel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he might have enough. I'm leaning towards Dodgers in that regard.
I know the internet's definitely changed my mind on this one.
I mean, you said laser nunchucks, Ben.
What is
Yeah.
that?
I don't know.
he
but-
holding
Yeah, how do
lasers?
you're holding a laser?
Or like one side is laser, one is the handle.
This is an
Or
excellent
whatever.
question. I need to
You're
know.
using your
Duck
hand,
Dodgers laser
like
nunchucks.
like it's I'm imagining like a lightsaber, but like if two of them were nunchucked together.
Oh, it's literally that's
It's-
exactly what it is.
I think it's glow sticks.
It's them with lightsabers, but the lightsabers are on the ends of
That's
nunchucks.
pretty badass right there. Like I don't.
All right.
I mean, Darkwing's got a grapnel gun
Oh, I found
Yeah,
it.
and
tear gas,
Fantastic.
maybe.
yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I found exactly what I was talking about. If you look up Darkwing Duck laser nunchucks, the first thing that comes up is a GIF of that exact feat.
Looks like he's holding on to lasers.
Oh wow.
And he uses the chain to block. He doesn't use the lasers.
Holy shit! It's a whole fight scene.
This is a long gift.
What? He can fly.
He can fly with
Wait,
them?
He's a duck. We shouldn't be
Oh,
surprised at this.
okay. That's yeah. That's inherently like
He's a duck. That's
We
right.
all freaked out at that, and it was like the most
second.
unremarkable
He
thing
can
you can
fly?
do.
What the heck?
That's crazy.
He can fly by spinning the lasers. Ah, shit.
Did this start over? Okay,
Yeah,
finally
yeah, it's a
did.
GIF. It's a
oh
GIF.
My
Yeah.
gosh.
Ah, God damn it. Star Wars Rebels did the same thing with lightsabers, and I was so fucking pissed at that. They
yeah.
have the Inquisitors spin the lasers, and they fly, and I'm like, they're not fucking helicopter blades, guys. But I'm totally cool with Duck Dodgers doing it. Wow. Dodgers
Man.
has this.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
Sorry, Darkwing.
I really want Darkwing to win.
I
but
know.
I don't.
Yeah, Obviously,
think
want
that's
Darkwing
gonna-
too, but
Yeah.
of course, it's all up to you guys. We have a poll up that you guys voted on, so let's go ahead and bring that up. Wow!
Oh, it was much closer.
They've all been so close.
Holy shit!
People voting from the heart.
Is
That's
that
what's
the closest
going on
one
there.
we've ever had? That might be. Wow. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but that
That's very
40, basically 49 to 51%, is really close.
Really close.
What is that second emoji? Oh, it's a rocket. Is it a rocket? It is a
It
rocket.
is a rocket.
But with the
Rocket.
blue, it kind of, I lost it.
Duck bat, duck rocket.
Yeah.
All right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I guess that works.
It's legit. Checks out.
All right, so Duck Dodgers is the official winner of this community death battle. Now, for the next one, as that was all going on, I pulled a couple suggestions from the chat, and I have 4, and I'd like you guys to pick which one you think is the best one to go with. So the first one is Iceman versus Killer Frost from Mortal Kombat, I believe. Or no, Killer Frost is
DC.
From DC. Sorry, Frost is from Mortal Kombat. Frieza versus Megatron, which is actually a pretty popular death battle request. Jenos versus Bakugo. Give Jenos another try. And also My Hero is kind of hot right now. And then Zero from Mega Man versus Meta Knight from Kirby. So of those 4, do any of those stand out to you guys or to you guys? Iceman versus Killer Frost. Frieza versus Megatron. Jenos versus Bakugo. Zero versus Meta Knight.
And it's Megatron and not Galvatron, right?
We could go Galvatron if you want, but Megatron would probably be more than enough.
You think so?
Maybe, I don't know.
Like, there's
That's
a,
the one I'm
there's
Frieza's
a
a planet
huge-
buster.
Yeah.
Megatron's ridiculous. We've looked into that.
That's
with,
true.
with-
That's
there's
true,
a-
especially with the
fine.
comics, the IDW stuff.
There's a big size difference between the two.
You know
of
what?
them, right?
Because Frieza's got his golden form, I would say we would give Megatron Galvatron.
If we're willing to go that route, I am very interested in that matchup.
All right. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I
too.
like that one too. But I
Cool.
also like the Jenos versus Bakugo one as well.
Okay. I mean, we could do, since we're not going to be live for a while, we could do 2. We could.
Well,
We
no,
could
I'm
do-
down for the
have-
Frieza one
we
too.
could-
I'm
Do,
We
just-
could
do the
have the
Frieza
Frieza
one,
one
Megatron
first,
for this,
and
and
Jenos
then do
Bakugo will
Jenos
be next.
Bakugo next.
I want to see
Um,
both of those. I'm just
Yeah.
speaking out
So
loud.
we'll do Frieza versus Megatron right now / Galvatron.
Yeah, final forms. Like,
yes.
take them all the way to their
Yes.
final forms.
So I'm actually really interested in this because it's been requested as a death battle before. A lot. I've seen this like a lot as one of the top requests for Frieza, and I've never been 100% sure how that matchup would really stack up. We've looked into Transformers a bit, obviously, for Optimus, but I honestly don't know if the death battle itself would be super entertaining or Frieza would just wipe him out in an instant. I don't know. So let me know what you guys think. Let us know who you think should win between Frieza and Megatron / Galvatron. Using hashtag DeathBattleCast on Twitter. We will have a poll up on the Death Battle Twitter at the end of this week. You can vote there, and we will discuss it in the next episode of Death Battlecast. Yes, again, we are continuing to do this every Wednesday at noon Central Time. We will not be live as we are right now next week, but we will still be airing it as usual and doing pretty much everything the same. We just will be recording from home, which will be a very interesting experiment. We're figuring this out as we go.
Yep.
But we'll keep you guys in the loop. Just stay tuned to our Twitter. That's the best place to really stick around Twitter, and obviously roosterteeth.com as well. And with that kind of wraps everything up. Thank you guys for joining us on this last episode on this set for a while. I'm gonna miss the set.
Yeah. But we got it back.
It
It's
is
so
back.
dope that we have it back,
Is
guys.
this your first time on the?
This is the first time
Revive set?
with it back. Yeah, I'm so stoked that like we were
Sean,
able to
actually, since you're here,
rise from the grave.
to wrap things up. If you don't know, Sean became the co-head of the animation department for just a little while ago. Is there anything you want to mention about that and how that's been going?
I mean, it's crazy, but it's very exciting. I'm not only happy to get to kind of encourage this broadcast stuff that we're doing now, and also working with like the Backwards Compatible team and the anime adjacent content that we're making with Cole and the old fan service crew, but then also all the other great animated stuff. Because of my opportunity, I got to give y'all the opportunity to do the Anim Jam. And so we have a lot of exciting kind of new experimental stuff that we're doing in the studio. Issa Badiola is working on an awesome new project that I can't wait to share. Josh helped write that, and is
Very
editing
exciting.
and everything. And just, yeah, like I'm thrilled to have a chance to give all the amazing talent that we have in the studio new opportunities, as well as continuing to make things like Death Battle, Red vs. Blue, Ruby, and maybe some other, legacy content that everybody knows and loves from Rooster Teeth Animation. So yeah, it's awesome. Joe is a great partner in all of this, and yeah, I'm just super excited about our future. So
Yeah, and if there's anything to finally dispel this weird misconception that Death Battle is for some reason not part of Rooster Teeth,
it is totally a part of Rooster Teeth.
he's literally running in
where I
on
came from.
We're all a part of Rooster Teeth,
I
so
still see people say we're Screw Attack, and I'm like,
yeah,
No.
I mean, in
No.
our hearts, we all came from a place that was once called Screw Attack. But now we are Rooster Teeth, and it is because of Rooster Teeth that we're doing 20 episodes of Death Battle this year, and we're experimenting with all these great new, animation partners, and we will continue to push the envelope of what Death Battle can bring to, y'all as a community. So,
and we got
super,
plenty of awesome
super hype.
other stuff coming down the pipeline
Yeah,
with
dude,
animation.
you think it's just Death Battle or DBX? Ha! We got way more coming.
2020 is going to be great. I know it's not super great right now for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a little
most
crazy
people.
right now.
And
wash your hands, stay safe.
Yes, we should wrap this up by again saying keep yourself safe, support other people. There are a lot of people who are sacrificing a lot for this. Man, seeing tweets about doctors and stuff having to separate themselves from their family is
It's crazy.
heartbreaking.
Crazy.
So just stay safe, keep everybody else safe, support everybody. We're in this together. And again, we will continue to do our Death Battle stuff to distract and also to have wonderful arguments about who should win in a meaningless fight to the death.
Yes. Yep.
Thank you all for supporting us. Thank you all for tuning in. If this is your first time watching this live, we do this every single week.
Nah, doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
We'll do this next week as well. That didn't work. Okay, we'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye. Stay awesome.